Before Kenner released the Boba Fett action figure, of course they had to make a prototype. But what happened to it? Where is it today? Let's find out. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, and I'm coming back at you with another video. Whew, seemed like just yesterday we did a video. Oh, we did. We try to give you a video every day around 5 o'clock. So what are we going to talk about today? The kickbash prototype Boba Fett figure. Now, before we get into that, let's give you a little back history here. In 1985, when Kenner canceled the Star Wars line, everyone seemed to move on from Star Wars. A lot of the fans figured Star Wars is over. Didn't seem like we were getting those prequels we were promised, at least not anytime soon, and Star Wars was kind of dead. The toy designers over at Kenner that spent a lot of time designing Star Wars toys moved on to other lines. And a lot of those prototypes, concept art, anything related to Star Wars was just moved to the side and people went on about their business. It wasn't until the early 90s when there was starting to be a boom in the vintage Star Wars collecting, when you had collectors like Gus Lopez, who runs the Star Wars Collectors Archive website, started to reach out to those that worked at Kenner, from the designers to the sales team to whoever they could talk to. The collectors would then meet up with these Kenner employees and rescue some concept art, prototype figures, all kinds of things. It was still a time before the special editions, before the prequels, when a lot of people that wasn't hardcore Star Wars fans thought Star Wars was a thing of the 80s and people had moved on from it. So luckily these collectors were able to get their hands on some nice gems that would forever have been lost if they hadn't reached out to the Kenner employees back in the early 90s. But one thing that could never be found was the kickbash Boba Fett action figure. What is a kickbash prototype action figure? Well, a kickbash is when you take a bunch of other toys and make one prototype figure out of it. In this case, the Boba Fett was made up of some existing Star Wars figures. The middle section was C-3PO. The Death Squad commander's legs were used for the figures, and the arm and head was used for Boba Fett. Some of the parts, of course, had to be modified. The rocket on the kickbash figure was made from the Kenner model shop and was built around the Mattel Shogun Warrior Raider figure. The rocket itself seems to be a custom design. Although the kickbash action figure was never found, at least collectors and fans of Star Wars were able to find these old photos and save them. Looking over these photos, at the time a lot of people thought there were 4 different kickbash figures made, but after a long study of the photos from top men and experts, it's believed that this is all the same figure. The gap in the figure's chest plate armor is key. The chest plate would have been glued on by the designers, and being that these were hand glued on, it would have been slightly different for each figure. Although it's the same figure, it's clear that some retooling was done over time. And this figure wasn't just some prototype they showed around Kenner. It was actually used in promotion. Here's a figure seen on a store display showing off the new Empire Strikes Back figures. As you can see, some of them are prototypes also, like the Han Hoth figure. The kickbash Boba Fett was also used as the cardboard insert inside the Star Wars collector's carrying case. The figure itself was even used as the airbrush art on the back of the Star Wars card to detail the free Boba Fett offer. This is a cool looking figure, and I can remember seeing this figure on the back of the card and seeing the Boba Fett we did get, how different it looked. And throughout the years, especially in the 90s in the collector's market, we all wondered what happened to that figure used on the back of the card and how cool it would have been if we got a figure that looked more like that than the one we got. Although there's nothing wrong with the Boba Fett we did get. So what happened to this kickbash? A lot of kickbash figures and prototypes were saved over the years, but no one knows what happened to this Boba Fett. It seems it hasn't been seen since probably around early 1979. The website Jedi News put a $10,000 reward up. They even had a Facebook page offering the $10,000 reward. It led to nothing. And I'll be honest with you, if this figure ever does show up, I can guarantee you it's going to sell for a lot more than $10,000. But we did all hope that a $10,000 reward would lead us to someone that had this kickbash figure. Maybe some Kenner designer gave it to his son to play with and forgot all about it. Maybe some Kenner salesman took it around to show stores. We all hoped that we would get some kind of lead to where this kickbash figure is. A few customs of it has been made throughout the years, but that's just not the same as having the original. The one that was used in the promotion photos, for the airbrush photo on the back of the card. It would be really nice, even if I don't have it myself, although I would love to have it myself, it would be good to know that this piece is in good hands. Now, a few months ago, I did an interview with Kenner designer Tom Osborne, who was on the Kenner design team during this time, and I asked him what he thought happened to this figure. Sadly, what he thinks happened is what happened to a lot of the prototype figures. It was stripped down, used for another kickbash figure, or when the design team didn't need it anymore, maybe when they moved on to the more classic look that we did get, it was just thrown in the trash. So it seems this key figure in the history of toys, in the history of Star Wars Kenner toys, in the history of Boba Fett is lost forever. Sad. I don't know, maybe someone out there will see this video, share it on social media, tell your friends about it. Who knows? I mean, these things still turn up. Just about a year ago, the lost prototype of the White Witch droid ship was found. So you never know, this figure could be sitting out there in someone's home right now. So again, share this video. You might throw it up on some social media website, and then someone that doesn't know much about Star Wars at all might say, hey, I remember my dad gave that to my brother. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have this figure? Now, of course you don't. Sadly, I don't think it'll ever be found. But let's hope so. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this. And do you think it's pretty cool looking? I sure do. Well, as always, thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.